Now, Colin Clarke is a Director of Research at the Soufan Group, a global intelligence and security firm. His work focuses on domestic and transnational terrorism. Thank you very much for your time there, Colin. Now, you write that while the suspect, an 18-year-old white male, may have acted alone, he emerged from a far-right ecosystem. Can you explain that, please?
Sure. Thanks for having me. We use this term lone wolf and we throw it around sometimes carelessly. And while this individual may have indeed acted alone, and in fact, early signs indicate that he did, he emerged from and admitted as much in his manifesto that he came from this broader far right ecosystem that is online through sites like 4chan, where there's just the most vile and reprehensible racist rhetoric that gets tossed around quite casually. And so he'd been marinating in this for years, since the beginning, early days of the COVID pandemic. And this is the natural evolution. I think we're unfortunately going to see other incidents similar to this one.
At the heart of the attacker's far-right manifesto is the concept of great replacement theory. Can you explain this theory and how it's been used by attackers in the past?
Sure. In a nutshell, it's a conspiracy theory that says a cabal of Jewish elites are deliberately importing immigrants into the United States to supplant and, as the name suggests, replace white Americans, and that these immigrants will be pliant to the Democratic Party. And so it's taken on a partisan overtone too. This is a concept that's been bandied about in various far-right manifestos. We saw bits and pieces of it in the El Paso shooter's manifesto, Patrick Crusius. And of course, large chunks of text were copied verbatim from Brenton Tarrant, the Christchurch, New Zealand mosque attacker. So a lot of this stuff makes its way into the various manifestos of multiple far-right extremists.
You mentioned the partisan overtone there. In a national poll by the Associated Press and the NORC, it was found that nearly half of Republicans agreed to at least some extent with this theory. What does that mean for the fight against domestic terrorism and the threat to minorities?
Well, I think it means that the resources that the federal, state, and local levels need to combat this probably won't be forthcoming if we have a significant portion of our elected members, in Congress and in the Senate and the House that are subscribing to this theory, or at least believe parts of it are plausible. Then we're in worse shape than I initially thought.
All right, we'll leave it there for the time being. Thanks very much for that, Colin. Colin Clarke, Director of Research at the Soufan Group.